Welcome back to our annual tradition of our March Madness special. It's just a quick 50-50 here. I'm Tyler,
I'm Connor.
and we have our good friend Eric, as always, back to
Howdy.
supply the knowledge to the masses of college basketball.
Yes,
So
sir.
we're just going to be going through quick and making a bracket for the podcast.
If you don't know how this is going to work, we brought in three people so that we always have to make a choice. So if like two of us vote against each other, the third person will vote the actual person in. All right, so number one right away, we have coming out of the West region, the number one seeded Gonzaga Bulldogs versus the winner of Norfolk and Appalachian State.
That's pretty much I think it's going to be a unanimous Zags, but
I
Yep.
have a couple notes on a lot of teams, so I'm just gonna share those quick, maybe to sway some people. The Zags have won 26 games this season, and only one of their wins was less than 10, was by less than 10. And I'm actually gonna pick Appalachian State to beat Norfolk because Appalachian State in their last 15 games are 7-0 when they make 10 plus threes and 1-7 when they don't. They're flamethrowers,
Yeah, the old glass cannon.
but I'm gonna pick the Zags. Second game out of the West, we have number 8 Oklahoma versus number 9 Mizzou. Some
kind
notes.
of a weird one because Mizzou's coming off a pretty decent run in the SEC tournament, but I think overall it's probably going to be Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, of 25 total games, 12 of them were against top 25 teams, and they did finish 5-7 versus those top 25 teams. So they had a hard schedule down the stretch. Well, Mizzou has wins over Alabama and Illinois, but they went 3-6 or 3-6 in their last 9. So Mizzou's coming in a little chilly. So I'm gonna take Oklahoma. Creighton versus UCSB, the Gauchos.
Oh, the Gauchos.
Santa Barbara, baby. I mean, like I kind of want to pick an upset here, just because Creighton got stunned by Georgetown as the rest of the Big East. But it's March, it's the NCAA tournament, it's a whole new season. I'm probably gonna go Creighton because they have the better defense. So
That's fair. Creighton finished 13th in BPI rankings, but only received a fifth seed, which is kind of sus. And all five starters average over double-digit scoring. So I like Creighton a lot. And my note for you is for the Gauchos is that they have not played a top 75
Yeah.
net team the entire season.
This is one of the weirder popular upset picks I've ever seen. I don't know where this. It's why so many people are high on this team.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Watched them win though. No, I go Creighton too.
I think
Unanimous.
it's Santa Barbara's first time being in the tournament in
Jeez.
Yep.
like a decade or something like that.
Yeah,
It's been a long time since I've been in.
All right. Virginia versus Ohio.
I can't do my boy Tony Bennett dirty like that. Gotta do Cavs all the way, baby.
Okay. Virginia has had COVID problems throughout the year. They haven't played a game in almost a week, and because of health and safety protocols, they won't be able to practice until Friday. So that is tough. Meanwhile, Ohio is scoring 80 points a game on the 13th best effective field goal percentage in the entire nation. So Virginia's going to
Uh,
be really cold coming in, and Ohio's going to be really hot coming in. And honestly, I'm going to pick the upset of Ohio.
I don't think it'll happen just because of how good Virginia's defense is, and the fact that Virginia will take a little bit better shots than Ohio will. But yeah, it's one of those weird. It's gonna be a weird tournament in general, just because there may be an upset just because a team can't play because of COVID reasons.
And
So
this would be the upset.
Yeah,
Eric, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with Ohio. I think
Yeah, buddy.
it's sort of a perfect storm for them with UVA not being able to practice and having COVID problems, and Ohio being really hot. And from what I've heard from Illinois fans, Ohio played them really tough in that game early in the season. So I'm gonna go with the Ohio upset.
Nice. All right, USC versus the winner of Wichita/Drake.
ooh, I mean, I'm gonna pick Drake here just because I think they'll beat Wichita State. However, beating USC I think will be even better. So I'm gonna pick Drake to upset USC here just because I think the Pac-12 is absolute dumpster fire this year.
I'm gonna go with UFC. I have real confidence in Evan Mobley, their starting center, who's averaging 17-9 and 3 blocks a game. I think he's one of the best big men in the entire tournament. Even though Drake is sixth in the nation for field goals made and fourth in the nation for 2-point field goals made. but I think that their interior D is going to stop the Drake offense.
I think this is actually I think Drake got a little underseeded at the end of the season because they played a few games without their starting point guard, and I think they would have won their conference tournament if he been playing, and he's actually back now for the tournament, if I remember correctly. So I am gonna go with Drake to win the first round game.
Wow. All right. A second upset already.
Oh yeah.
Next, we got Kansas versus East Wash.
Pretty clear Kansas 1 year. Not gonna lie. East Wash is bad.
Okay, calm down. They have the National Big Sky Player of the Year, and they have 5 players averaging double-digit points right now.
In a absolutely dumpster fire of a
Okay.
conference. But
Okay.
I'm picking Kansas here.
Yeah,
It's
actually,
an
I'm
easy
gonna go
one.
with Kansas too, strictly because they have 14 games against top 25 teams this year, and they went 8-6 in those 14 games. That is really good. Oregon versus VCU.
Originally I was thinking VCU might have a chance here, but there's a lot of things pointing to Oregon being the best 7 seed in the tournament. So I'm taking Oregon here.
When researching, I found Oregon has the 16th best offense in the nation, while VCU has the 12th best defense in the nation. So we're looking at basically a top 15 offense going against a top 15 defense, and I think VCU has the advantage when it comes to defense against the offense of Oregon. Eric, what do you think?
This is I don't know much about either team, so it's essentially a toss-up. I guess I'll go with Oregon just based on the fact that they're in a power conference or Power 5 conference. That's about it, though.
Number
That's a toss-up,
two,
I'd say.
number 2 Iowa versus number 15 Grand Canyon.
The whole canyon?
Man, if there is a first round upset, I would love it to be this one just to see Jordan Bohannon cry on national
Oh, my
TV. But
goodness.
it's Iowa.
What if I told you that Grand Canyon has 2 7-footers who both average 27 points per game combined? Would that change your mind?
No, Garza's a dominant player in the post.
Not against Kofi Coburn.
True. What about 2 7-footers who can score?
Yeah.
I mean, are they 7 foot and lanky, or are they 7 foot and built like a shit brick house like Kofi? You know,
All I saw was 2 7-footers who averaged 27 points per game combined.
I'll take Iowa and Garza in this one.
Yeah, I'm taking
still.
Iowa too. All right. We move on to the East section of the bracket. We start with number 1 Michigan versus number 6. I forget who MSM is, and then Texas State is the other one. Texas Southern.
Texas Southern, yeah.
Who is MSM?
About St. Mary's, I bet. that is.
Yeah, you're right.
Michigan. Even though they've kind of been a little cold right now, I still think they get done in the first round. Juwan Howard's probably going to win Coach of the Year.
I agree. I'm gonna take Michigan.
Yep.
Next we have LSU versus Saint Bonaventure, aka St. Bonnie's.
St. Bonnie's. That's too easy. That's an easy clap right there. LSU's
Ooh.
absolute garbage. They have terrible defense.
But
Why?
this
Because
it's an
they're in
interesting
the
matchup.
SEC, or
LSU also has some of the best scorers in the country.
true?
Yeah, they have a pretty damn good offense, but their defense is garbage town. So I'm gonna take St. Bonaventure with a above average defense and above average offense.
I'm actually gonna take St. Bonnie's too. I like them in the head-to-head matchup. I don't know how far they'll get because they are kind of lopsided in certain things, but in the head-to-head matchup, I do like them over LSU. Number 5 Colorado versus number 12 Georgetown.
I mean, the Buffs have actually been pretty good at, like, coming from a numbers standpoint and looking at the shots that they take, but Georgetown seems to be riding pretty high off of Mr. Ewing. Can they continue it in the tournament? I don't know, but I can't do my boy dirty live. Like, if this was in like my own private like conversation, I'd pick Georgetown, but I can't do my boy Caleb dirty live. I gotta go Buffs with this one, baby.
All right. I am going to go Colorado also. They tied the NCAA record for team free throw percentage this year. And that's going to come in huge in the clutch, I think, and it's going to be really big for them. So Colorado it is.
Yeah, Georgetown has a okay. Well, I shouldn't say okay. I like it again of an above average defense, but it's yeah. It'll all come down to if Colorado can get to the free throw line.
All right, Florida State versus UNC Greensboro.
Florida State, easy cap.
Yeah, I agree. Really don't have any stats for that one. Next up, we have BYU playing against the winner of Michigan State or UCLA.
Uh, if Michigan State beats UCLA, I'm taking State 100%, upsetting BYU.
Interesting.
It's all gonna come down to how many times his harm's gonna touch his hair during the game. That's the big stat you gotta pay attention to. If he's touching his hair a lot, you know, he's probably gonna be too distracted to actually play basketball. But man, if the Michigan State Spartans, presented by Rocket Mortgage, beat UCLA, never doubt Izzo in March, man.
No.
I think Michigan State also wins both games here. They're coming in with the sixth highest assist percentage in the entire nation. And I think as an 11 seed with like a top 5 assisting team is really scary because they're going to have way more ball movement than like any of the other 11 seeds. And they played a lot of really tough opponents this year, obviously, being in the Big Ten.
Well, I gotta give BYU credit where it's due. They did play pretty well against against
Gonzaga.
Gonzaga.
Yeah.
In the West Coast Conference tournament, but they would, like I told you and everyone else in that group chat, they were shooting at an unsustainable rate. So it's iffy. But man, if Michigan State beats UCLA, watch out.
All right, number 3 Texas versus number 14 Abil Christian.
Texas, easy clap. Abil Christian has some above average defense, but their offense is absolute dumpster fire.
I'm also taking Shaka Smart and the Texas Longhorns.
Wait, Abilene Christian is pure offense. They score 77 a game.
Ooh, Tyler, what do you got?
They only give up 60.
I'm going to stand behind my man who's been who's been doing shot quality for like I think 2 years now. Shout out to my boy at @shot_quality on Twitter. But according to his stats, he's got them as a above average defense and a terrible offense. So
Here's an X factor I found while researching for this game. Texas runs 34 ball screens per game, and no other mid or high major team runs over 30. So I think they're gonna be super. They're gonna be hitting you, and you're gonna get tired, and maybe the offense won't be as well if you're gonna get hit by 34 screens a game. So,
I'm just looking. They're ranked 157 in Ken Pom for adjusted offense.
all right. So Texas, Eric.
Oh yeah, Texas.
No, I guess Eric doesn't have to vote, but Eric is leaning on the Abil Christian. We'll see. We'll see. Number 7 UConn versus number 10 Maryland.
Easy choice.
I'm gonna take UConn. I'd
Oh
like
my
to see the
God.
upset,
Oh
but
my.
I'm taking UConn.
No. Big Ten. I honestly don't think Big Ten will drop a game in the entire first round. I think that the competition through conference play was just too tough this year, and I'm gonna take Maryland.
Yeah, a respectable pick, but I really think UConn's kind of got this. I don't know how to say it, but like just an interesting case to make a little bit of a run, especially if they can beat Bama. So
Eric, you're the tiebreaker.
Yeah, Maryland's gonna win the game. Sorry, they play better competition. They beat that competition.
True.
UConn does not.
Number 2 Alabama versus number 15 Iona.
Get out of here. Bama, easy clap.
All right, so here's a stat about Bama. They play the fastest team. Or they're the fastest team pace wise in the entire tournament, and they shoot 47% of their shots from 3. I think Iona's gonna pull it out. I think Bama's just gonna have a bad game against a Rick Pitino defense. And when you're taking almost half your shots from 3, if you can't have at least 30 to 40% of them drop in, you're probably gonna lose the game against a guy like Rick Pitino and such a cerebral, both offense and defense that he runs. So I'm gonna go with Iona with the upset.
Iona, FYI, is ranked 161st in the Ken Pom for
They
yeah.
didn't get enough
defense.
games in to
Oh,
be
yeah.
ranked any higher.
Yep, they played like less than 20 games.
So
Here's
Eric?
the thing: Alabama is going
Yeah.
to get outcoached. Alabama, who relies on the three, is going to miss a lot of threes because Iona plays good defense. Iona's going to score like 55 points and win the game by slowing down the pace.
We're taking Iona. I honestly think if Alabama didn't play Iona in the first round, they would probably make Elite Eight. But I think this matchup is just so brutal for them. And I think Rick Pitino's a serious wild card.
wow, God, bitches!
All right,
Correct.
coming out of the South, we have number 1 Baylor versus number 16 Hartford.
Baylor, easy clap. Even though they had a little bit of a stumble there in the tournament.
Yeah,
for
I'm gonna.
the Big 12.
Yeah, I'm
Baylor.
gonna take Baylor. That's pretty obvious. All right, the game of the first round. I'm gonna say it. The game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
North
Was that-
Carolina versus Wisconsin.
Was that 08 or 09 when we played them in the Sweet 16 and we lost by like maybe 2?
I was like
We played them
12,
in,
so
like,
I don't remember.
I taped that game. I remember that. Because Monroe was playing a playoff game that same day. And that was a really close game. I think it's going to be just like that game again. It's going to be really close. Wisconsin, I think, is going to pull it out because of the better defense. I think that'll help them carry them through a tough opponent. And another thing that also helps is that they don't have a big that's 285 pounds. So
How does that help though? Here's a stat. UNC has the number 1 offensive rebound team in the country. They offensively rebound 40% of their missed shots. That is terrifying to me because I know how bad the Wisconsin bigs are. So if they're getting 40% more, or not, that stat doesn't translate. But if they're getting more possessions purely off of getting 40% of their missed shots, I think it's going to spell disaster for Wisconsin down the stretch.
they can get more. They can still get more possessions, but at the same time, Wisconsin showed that they could lock down on those. Especially against Iowa in the Big Ten tournament, they started to really lock down on those second chance opportunities. One thing I would watch is if Wisconsin runs away a little bit, if Greg Gard decides to go conservative again, like he did against Penn State, or if he learned his lesson and will kind of flip flop on possessions, like push it on a couple of possessions and then take it back. That's like one of the other big things. But UNC is playing in an ACC conference that was somewhat top heavy, and the bottom was the absolute bottom of the barrel for the Power Fives. So I mean, and I guess not including the Pac-12, but they are playing in a weak ACC conference this year. But I think Wisconsin's going to pull this one out just barely.
You know what? I am going to agree, actually. Wisconsin has the second lowest turnover percentage in the entire country. And I think even if we do lose possessions off offensive rebounds, I think turnovers won't be that big of a factor. So we'll be able to gain some of those back. And I think we have a better offense at its core. And I think I'm going to go Wisconsin, too. Even though it's going to be a really close game. I'm honestly, I'm clenched. I'm super clenched for it.
And shout out to Greg Gard for actually making some pretty solid second half adjustments during that Iowa game. So
Yep.
he is learning. He is learning.
Only took him 3 seasons, but... All right, number 5, Villanova versus number 12, Winthrop.
I'm gonna take Nova. I like them in the tournament here. I think they are the strongest 5 seed probably. So I'll take Nova in this one.
I am gonna take Winthrop. I think that Nova is having some COVID protocol issues, and I think that Winthrop is probably the strongest 12 seed. So I like them as the upset.
I believe people are saying Georgetown is the strongest 12th seed, but
That would mean Colorado, because we picked Colorado. So wouldn't they be the strongest 5 seed then?
No, I would say like out of the 5 seeds, Nova is probably the strongest, but out of the 12 seeds, I'm getting Georgetown from what I'm seeing.
All right. Anyway, Eric's tiebreaker on this one.
5-12 is usually a favorable matchup for the mid majors, and what I've seen from Winthrop is that they have a 6'8" point guard who almost averages a triple double and can shoot threes. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Winthrop.
Upsets, baby. We love them. We love them. All right.
Yeah.
Number 4 Purdue versus number 13 North Texas.
Man, I don't know. It's you got a Purdue team that's pretty young, but also has a lot of talent. I feel like Matt Painter is becoming the new Bo Ryan, I guess, with the death taxes and Matt Painter slogan that's been popping around. So I'm gonna go Purdue.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick to my guns and say that there'd be no Big Ten losses in the first round, so I'm gonna go with Purdue naturally. All right, Texas Tech versus Utah State.
Texas Tech, easy clap. They have like so much talent on that team, and their record does not show just how good this team is. Texas Tech, baby.
I don't think they're as good as past Texas Tech teams. And Utah State, here's a stat: they ranked in the top 20 in the nation for both offensive and defensive rebound percentage. So they're getting a lot more possessions than your average team. And can the Texas Tech defense keep up through all those extra possessions?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna actually
100%.
agree. I love me some Tortilla Boys. I predicted their magic run back a couple years ago, and I'm always with the Red Raiders. So, number 3 Arkansas versus number 14 Colgate.
I'd go with Arkansas. They had what was their point guard who got a first team All-American this year. So I'm gonna take Arkansas. I'm gonna take the Razorbacks over Colgate, even though there's some bracket out there that's predicting Colgate will upset them and make a run for the Elite Eight.
Whoa.
But
Colgate they do kind of look scary, but I'm also gonna take Arkansas.
shout out to Ethan Maine. Go Razorbacks.
Shout out to Brett Bielema. Anyway, number 7 Florida versus number 10 Virginia Tech.
I like Virginia Tech in this upset, honestly.
I honestly do too. So yeah, that was a quick one. Number 2 Ohio State versus number 15 Oral Roberts.
You know what they say, Buckeyes all the way, baby.
Oh
Who
yikes.
says that?
Stat about Oral Roberts. They're starting 1 and 4 who pick and pop mostly is their offense, and they both shoot over 40% from 3, and that's their main offensive weapons.
Yeah,
He is the top scorer in the country. Their point guard is.
Yep.
yeah. They have a point guard, and I think they have one front court player that's in the category of averaging 12 points or more. So
Yeah, I just think
but I mean, Ohio State was going up against a lot of good bigs this year, so I'm gonna take Ohio State in this matchup.
yeah, I also like Ohio State just purely for Big Ten. All right, down to the Midwest. Number 1 Illinois versus number 16 Drexel. The Dragons.
Dragons.
The Dragons.
Nice try, guy. Illinois.
Same. Number 8 Loyola Chicago versus number
Okay.
9 Georgia Tech.
Okay, first of all, how bullshit is this matchup that Loyola, who probably should be in the bracket with probably should be over in the East, like literally you have an 8 seed that could make a run in the tournament, and here you are throwing them up against who the team is probably going to win it this year, Illinois, in the second round if they beat Georgia Tech. Like,
Well, they're also Georgia Tech's the ACC champ
Yep.
it's
at 9 seed.
At a 9 seed, yeah.
it's so dumb. I'm taking Porter Moser.
I think it's gonna be tough. Georgia Tech does run the 1-3-1 zone on defense.
Ooh,
About
that's
30% of their defensive possessions. I don't think Loyola's gonna have a problem on the defensive end, but the question is, can their offense do it against a random ass 1-3-1 zone? They're looking at like every third possession, and
Yeah, dude, 100% because they're shooting what 37%, 38% from the three. So
yeah, but how many of those is against a 1-3-1? None.
uh,
Exactly. So
Not. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say yes or no because I don't know off the top of my head, but I'll take Loyola in this matchup. I like 'em.
I think I'm also gonna take Loyola just for the defense. But I think Georgia Tech. This is gonna be a really good game in the first round. It's gonna be
Yeah, for sure. One of the best.
crazy. And then if Loyola or Georgia Tech wins and goes on to Illinois, that's gonna be a crazy game too.
Yeah.
Number 5 Tennessee versus number 12 Oregon State.
Whew. Tennessee's has kind of been struggling as of late. And Oregon State's coming off that Pac-12 championship, if I remember right. Didn't they win it all?
Yep.
That being said, their resume from the rest of the year doesn't really impress, but Tennessee has also not been impressive this year. So this is the 12-5 seed matchup where I am going to take the 12 seed because Tennessee is the weakest 5 seed in this
shit.
tournament, in my opinion.
Okay. I'm a firm believer in Yves Pons. I'm pretty sure he won the conference defense player of the year. He's very very good, and he's a legit offensive weapon too. And I think he'll do really well against an Oregon State team who isn't really gonna be at their best. So I'm taking Tennessee, but it's up to Eric now.
Yeah, I think Oregon State has been shooting unreal lately to get to where they are in a position in the tournament like this, and I think that's going to cool off, especially against Tennessee, who plays really good defense. So I'm going to go with Tennessee, even though I don't like either of these teams a lot.
All right, number 4, OSU, Oklahoma State versus number 13, Liberty.
Oklahoma State. There's not a doubt in my mind.
Yep, I agree. Cade Cunningham is the best player in the entire nation. He'll be the number 1 overall draft pick in the upcoming NBA draft. I'm also taking him. Number 6, San Diego State versus number 11, Syracuse.
I really like San Diego State here. I think, like Texas Tech, they're another team where their record doesn't show just how good they are. I think they were a preseason top 25, if I remember right, and held that ranking for a little bit. So I'm going to take San Diego State here. I like them a lot against Syracuse, even though everybody's all about that 2-3 zone. So
Holy moly. I know Eric has a really good case for Syracuse, but I also like San Diego State, but I want Eric to plead his case for Syracuse quick.
Yeah, I mean, the 2-3 zone is pretty unreal, and it's actually, you wouldn't expect it to be, but they guard the 3 really well out of the 2-3 zone too. And Jim Boeheim, I think, is 25-3 in first round NCAA tournament games. But this Syracuse team is probably not as good as teams they've had in recent years.
Yeah, I'm going to take San Diego State, but the Syracuse team is scary. It's definitely a scary 11 seed. Number 3, West Virginia versus number 14, Morehead State.
another game that's pretty easy to pick. West Virginia, baby.
I mean, Morehead State is top 15 in the nation at paint defense, so that's really scary. I think they have like 2 big guys, or I think 1 or 2, and then one guy's averaging like 2 to 3 blocks a game. But I think I'm going to take West Virginia too. I think they're low-key very, very good, and will make it far.
They've given Baylor a run for their money every single time they've played them.
True. Number 7, Clemson versus number 10, Rutgers.
Butgers, baby, let's go! Fuck Clemson.
Yep, I'm going to stick to my Big Ten analysis and also say Rutgers. I also say fuck Clemson.
Rutgers beat Illinois? That's
Yes.
Yes. They did.
And then number 2, Houston versus number 15, Cleveland State.
Well, Cleveland State, they got this solid squad, strong group of seniors that's gonna get absolutely demolished by the Cougars, baby.
Yep, I'm also going to take Houston. They have the number 1 defensive effective field goal percentage in the nation, because what they do is they always double the post. If the ball goes into the post, instant double, and they make teams beat them from the 3. And I don't think a lot of teams in college basketball are going to do that. So I am going Houston. I'm going Houston far, ladies and gentlemen. All right, round of 32. Back to the top. We have number 1, Gonzaga versus number 8, Oklahoma.
Zags, easy clap here.
I also agree. Number 5, Creighton.
Northview's gonna put on a clinic.
Number 5, Creighton versus number 13, Ohio.
I like the Jays, honestly. I don't think they're gonna be able to play against. I don't think they'll even make it out of this game, but I'll take the Jays here.
I'm taking Ohio. I think, and this is a Cinderella story for this year that every year has, and Ohio's gonna beat Creighton, and I think take the Zags down to the wire. So I'm going Ohio.
I'll go Ohio too, just for the sake of not having boring Creighton team in there.
All right, so we agreed on Drake versus Kansas.
All right. I'm gonna say Kansas. I know Eric's pretty high on Drake because his dad went there, but I'm taking Kansas here.
That's
Um,
big in the basketball metrics.
One note about Drake I forgot to mention was that their leading scorer was out the last 9 games of the season, and he is returning for the tourney though. And they are 19-1 with him in the lineup. But I think I'm gonna go Kansas too. I think they're very good, and Drake's not gonna be able to pull it out. So we have number 7 Oregon versus number 2 Iowa.
Again, would love to see Bohannon cry, but I'm taking Iowa.
I'm also taking Iowa. I think Luka Garza is too good for those guys.
If they shoot the 3 well in the first game, I think that's going to carry over into the second game and keep them hot. So, and they're one of the teams this year that was like somewhere above, like they're like undefeated if they shot 40% or more from beyond the arc. So
Interesting. Number
they do have a pretty
1
good
Michigan
percentage.
versus number 9 St. Bonnie's.
I think this is where your 1 seed gets knocked out, friends.
Whoa.
Bonnie's
Whoa.
beats Michigan.
You know what? I was gonna also pull the upset, but now I want to see what Eric has to say. So I'm gonna take Michigan.
You know, Michigan probably the weakest 1 seed, especially now that Livers is out.
Yep.
You know, Jawan Howard got angry a few days ago, so his blood pressure is probably high. I'm gonna go with the Bonnies too.
Oh, okay. All right. A 1 seed losing in the round of 32. I like that.
Yeah,
Right.
gotta keep it fresh.
Colorado versus Florida State.
This is gonna be a good matchup, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
But again, you know, I gotta go with my boy Caleb, and I gotta say, go Buffs, baby.
I like Florida State more. I think they played up to their competition this year, and I think their defense is better than Colorado's offense. So
This is pretty much a coin flip for me, and I like how the guy in the Florida State logo is yelling and they're going, so I'm gonna go with them.
all right, Michigan State versus Texas.
I'm taking State here. Never doubt his own Marsh, baby.
Oh my. Okay.
I learned my lesson the first time.
Remember when
Except
he
when
lost?
they lose to Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, I remember when they lost in the first round as a 2 seed. I'm gonna go Texas. I think Shaka Smart's gonna do it. I think this is his year to get far.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Texas. They're pretty powerful this year, and like Tyler's been saying, I think they're a 3 seed. I think they're better than that. I think they're better than a 3 seed, and they play good competition for the entire year. And so I think they're similar to Michigan State in that regard, but they're just a better team.
All right,
So I'm
and
going
we
Texas.
have number 10 Maryland versus number 15 Iona.
Maryland.
I'm taking Iona.
I don't like Iona against Maryland. I
If-
think Maryland's seen enough of what tough defense can look like in the Big Ten. So
If Iona can control the pace against such a fast team as Alabama, they can definitely control the pace against the turtle-like team of Maryland. You see what I did because they're the.
yeah, the Tarpons.
I think
Don't worry, Turgeon is a virgin, but I'm taking Maryland.
I'm taking Iona.
Well, Maryland already plays slow, so I don't think that's going to throw them off to have a team
Yeah.
trying to slow them down. You know what? I like the Rick Pitino sort of like chaotic evil magic, but I'm going to go with the Big Ten and take Maryland.
Ooh, all right. We have number 1 Baylor versus number 9 Wisconsin.
Man, this is a game where they prove that they either have the best defense in the country or they get run over. I mean, I gotta pick against Wisconsin here just because I think Baylor is going to win this one. But the last time, like I said before in the chat, the last time Wisconsin was an 8 or a 9 seed, they won the first round and they ended up playing the first seed Nova, and that was 2017, and they ended up kicking Nova out of the tournament. So don't be surprised if Wisconsin wins, but I'm taking Baylor.
Yeah, no, we fucking suck. I'm taking Baylor. All right, number 12 Winthrop versus number 4 Purdue.
Boiler up, baby. Let's go.
I'm taking Winthrop. Let's go.
Oh no. Here's the thing. If Villanova was in this game, I would say that Purdue would stomp them,
Sure.
even though they're a higher seed than Winthrop. This is tough. All right, I'm Googling coin flip. And all right, I'll go heads Purdue, tails Winthrop. I'm flipping it now, and it's heads. I go with Purdue.
All right.
That's right.
The Tortilla Boys of Texas Tech versus number 3 Arkansas.
Tortilla boys again. I think it's the record
my.
doesn't show just how good of a team they are.
I am taking Arkansas. I just think I think if they can beat Colgate, they can beat anyone really.
That's what they always say, and you know, it in March it counts to be on a hot streak. It counts to be playing your best basketball at the end of the season. And Arkansas won 12 of their last 13 games, so I'm gonna go with Arkansas.
Get backed. Number 10 Virginia Tech versus number 2 Ohio State.
I'm gonna take Ohio State in this one. I think Virginia Tech, although maybe better than they look, is not gonna play well against an Ohio State team.
I agree. I'm gonna take Ohio State. All right. Number 1 Illinois versus number 8 Loyola Chicago.
Gonna be a damn good game. It's a shame that Loyola Chicago got put in this division, but taking my boy Io and Kofi.
I am also number 5 Tennessee versus number 4 OSU.
Oklahoma State, easy clap.
Agree.
They're gonna run circles around Tennessee.
Yep, I agree. Cade Cunningham, when he's on, he is on. So, number 6 San Diego State versus number 3 West Virginia.
I think this is where San Diego State loses. As much as I'd like to see them win and make a little bit of a run, I don't think they'll beat West Virginia. I think this will be a close game again. This will be a damn good game to watch, but I'm going to take West Virginia here.
I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to say San Diego State for just the sake of parity. Even though everything says that West Virginia should win, I just think they won't. So I'm going San Diego State.
Yeah, I'm gonna go San Diego State too. Based on pretty much nothing. They have a higher BPI. San Diego State is number 18 in the BPI at a 6 seed.
Yep.
So, and I think West Virginia might be a little overseeded at a 3. So I'm gonna go with San Diego.
Number 10 Rutgers versus number 2 Houston.
Houston. This is gonna be an easy game for them to win.
Yep.
They're gonna run circles around Butgers.
I agree. All right, on to the Sweet 16. We have number 1
Nice.
Gonzaga versus number 13 Ohio.
Zags, Mark Few is on a mission.
As much as I want Ohio to win, I think the Cinderella story stops here. And I'm also going to take Gonzaga. Number 3 Kansas versus number 2 Iowa.
You know, I'm gonna be chanting Fran get off the corn a lot during this game. You know, because he likes to get on that court. But I think Garza takes it home.
I have seen Iowa get exposed in games this year, and I think Kansas would be the team to do that to them. So I think I'm going to take Kansas.
This is another really even matchup. I was obviously a lot more offensive minded. I think if Kansas gets everyone, if there's no COVID issues and they get all the way to this game, yeah, I'll take Kansas in this.
Number 9 St. Bonnie versus number 4 FSU.
I think this is where the Cinderella story ends again for another team. I think St. Bonnie loses this one to Florida State.
I think I agree. I think if Florida State can win these 2 games, that they have a very good chance of making the Final Four. So I think that they'll ride the momentum from beating Colorado, and they're gonna go all the way to the Elite 8. It's number 3 Texas is number 10 Maryland.
This is where Turgeon is exposed for being a virgin by Texas. So Texas.
Yep, I agree. And on to Illinois versus Oklahoma State.
This is going to be a good matchup, but again, you have Io and you have Kofi. You are going to get absolutely rocked. So Illinois.
I agree. As much as Cade Cunningham can do it, there's kind of a curse between the golden boy and then the number 1 overall draft pick, how they don't really make it that far in the tournament. Like you saw it with Zion, you saw it with when Trae Young was super hyped up. So I don't think Cade Cunningham's gonna have his adventure all the way to the championship. And then San Diego State versus Houston.
This is where it ends for San Diego State. Cougars got a pretty solid team, in my opinion, the strongest 2 seed in the tournament. So
Agree. All right. Elite 8. Oh, nope, sorry. Top of the thing. Number 1 Baylor versus number 4 Purdue.
Baylor. They've got more experience. They have a better squad. Purdue's still pretty young and raw, but they have shown some promise over the course of the Big Ten season. So
Agree.
wouldn't be
Arkansas-
surprised if they make it far the next few years.
True. Arkansas versus Ohio State.
Honestly, Ohio State probably. I don't think Arkansas is that good. I think Ohio State's the more complete team, but
I'm taking the Razorbacks.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the streaking hot offensive Arkansas in this one.
Plus they beat Texas Tech, so they can beat any defense then. All right, Elite Eight. Florida State versus Texas.
matchup for the century. But Texas, man, hook 'em, baby.
I really like Florida State up to this point, and I think they have played better people and have more convincing wins. But it's tough. It's gonna be a tough game. I'm gonna go with Florida State just for the sake of parity, and because I think they've had better wins up to this point over Texas.
I will go with. Gotta trust the coaching of Shaka Smart here, so I'll go with Texas.
All right, Illinois versus Houston.
It's gonna be another close matchup. I think Illinois pulls it out. I think they're the team that's destined to make it to the finals this year. So
I really like Houston. I have them going very far in a couple of my brackets, and I think I'm going to take Houston.
Yeah, I do like Houston a lot, and they play that crazy defense, which I think is a big X factor in March. But I think Illinois is going to have too much offense for them. I don't think Houston's played offense as good as Illinois this year.
All right. And then number 1 Gonzaga versus number 3 Kansas.
I mean, if Arkansas, oh sorry, Kansas, Kansas Gonzaga, Zags, easy clap.
Yep.
Mark Few's on a mission.
Number 1 Baylor versus number 3 Arkansas.
I'm gonna say if Arkansas beats Ohio State, they're gonna beat Baylor.
Agree. There we go. I like it.
Nice.
All right. Number 1 Gonzaga versus number 3 Texas in the first Final Four game.
Zags, Few's on a mission from God.
Okay, I'm taking Zags. Anyway, number 3 Arkansas versus number 1 Illinois.
I really think the buck stops here for Arkansas. Sorry, Ethan Maine, but Illinois is going to the championship, boys.
I'm going hog wild on Arkansas. Let's go.
You know, if we want this bracket to be the one, if we want it to stand out among the crowd, everyone in the country is going to have Gonzaga versus Illinois. That's not going to get us anywhere. So I think history favors the bold. We're going to go Arkansas.
National championship. Number 1 Gonzaga versus number 3 Arkansas.
How
Who
did
do you
they come to
got?
this?
Dude, Arkansas is gonna get dunked on by Gonzaga.
I think Mark Few is on a mission to lose. No, I'm going the Zags too. I've been wanted the Zags to win a championship for the last like 4 years, ever since they first bursted onto the scene, and they were like a 7th seed or a 6th seed that first year they were in the tournament. I was like, oh yeah, Zags. Back when they had the Mountain Man.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the Mountain Man was dope. I was a big fan of Rui Hachimura when he played there.
Yeah.
I've been wanting the Zags to go all the way for a long time, and I think I've had them at least one of my brackets every single year for like the past 3 years. So this is the year for the Zags. Go Zags. Eric, what do you think?
Mark Few has made the NCAA tournament every year since he's been coaching at Gonzaga. Just an FYI.
Sure.
Gotta go with the Zags here. They're pretty much an NBA team at this point.
True. What do we think the final score is going to be?
A lot of offense, I think.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
Yeah, it's probably, I'm gonna say 78-73 Gonzaga.
I like that. That's good. That's
Nice.
solid. All right, and that concludes our official
Tournament picks?
bracket. I just completely spaced on what words to use there. Tournament
There it is.
challenge.
We did tweet out the group if you want to join it, so it's pinned on our Twitter. And there are prizes for the winners this year.
Yep.
Oh yeah. So we'll see you next time when we talk about the tournament inevitably.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get my boy Joey Diamato on here and just kind of pick his brain on his thoughts because he follows Badger sports like no other, and hoping to pick his brain on his thoughts about the team and the future of the program, as well as he will be the future insider for us for like all the random ass Badger sports that I always can't pay attention to. So
Nice. All
Sounds
right.
good.
We will see you next time.
Bye.
bye.